Hey, what's up guys? ArtDude47 here, and I am back with another devlog video. So first I would just like to apologize for missing the last two Saturdays. I don't know if you noticed, episodes normally come out on Saturday, but I have been out of town. I did try to rush out a devlog before I left, so that way there would only be one missed Saturday, but I didn't get quite done editing it. So with that being said, this devlog will be slightly different than previous devlogs because I tried to rush that last episode out. So I'm re-recording it, but I've done a lot of work off camera, which was the original intention of that episode anyway. I was trying to get as much work done as possible before it was time to leave. And so I've changed quite a few things about the game. First of all, I almost completely refactored like all of the code. I went through probably 80% of the code and made improvements where I could and changed certain things. So I completely rewrote the dialogue system. So now, instead of using a scriptable object for each line of dialogue, it's just pulling information from a JSON file. And with that, I was also able to create a new dialogue editor window here. And so basically this currently is every conversation that's in the game. And so I can expand the conversation here. You see it's got a conversation name, it's got an NPC ID, whether it's an instant or a typewriter, and then the type of dialogue and whether or not it should have an icon. And then you can add dialogues and options to it. So this one would just have the player name as the speaker name and say, what should I focus on this week? It's an instant dialogue, it's system, it has no action type and no emotion attached to it. Emotions I also added to the game. So for instance, if we go to Xie meeting, you can see if we come down here to hi there, I noticed your test score, it's neutral. And I can change it to happy. And then the NPC icon will change based on the mood of that dialogue. And so this just allows me to quickly add conversations and save them without having to go into the code at all. I can also search, so I could just narrow it down by Xie. And as long as I'm using a naming convention that always has Xie in the title, this will only show the Xie dialogue. So that's kind of that for the dialogue changes. I basically just rewrote completely how the dialogue system works. So then, the main focus of this episode was meant to be scheduling dates with NPCs. So I think the next thing to do would probably just be to play the game and show you what I've got so far. I've also been writing some dialogue to try to make it more game-like and just seem more like a game. So we'll study science this time around, which should cause us to meet Xie at some point this week. We got bad RNG, so we'll just do it again. And here's the meeting. So we go to the classroom. I also changed where the location drops to, so it's right there. And you see we've got this text, teacher, alright class, I'm handing back to texts now. It was a challenging one, so don't be too hard on yourself. I've also got this icon now to indicate when the text is over. Of course, that's not final, it'll be animated, it will look different, but I just thought that would help now that I'm actually writing out some dialogue, so that way you know when things are typed out. So I went ahead and upgraded to HD character sprites, just so you could get an idea of how that will actually look once I've got art for the game itself. And so you see we've got Xie, her icons popped up. Hi there, I noticed your test score from across the room. Interesting. She noticed my test score? I don't even know this girl. Hi, thanks I guess. It was a pretty tough test. And so you can see now she's smiling. And so I'm going to skip through the dialogue, but if you watch her face, you could see how her expression changes based on the dialogues. Alright, so now it's Sunday. We have met Xie, so you may have noticed this phone icon down here. We will call someone. Xie is on the list because she has been met. Who should I call? Xie. Ring ring. Currently, there is a 100% chance that the NPC will answer the phone. Just so I could quickly and easily test this, we will need to add some kind of RNG element to that in the future, so that way they don't always answer every time you call. But, hello? Oh, hi Xie, it's ArtDude47. Got him saying his full name here just to test that. Art, I wasn't expecting a call from you, what's up? So now we've got the option to ask on date or just chat. We will ask her on a date. I was calling to see if you wanted to go out on a date. Now it pulls up the calendar and we are supposed to choose a date to go out with her. At some point I need to add some kind of dialogue that indicates please select a date, but we'll ask for the 24th. And you can see it on 9/24/1983. And then it asks for a location. Again, I know it needs to prompt the player somehow to please select a location for the date. And for our location system, eventually I will add a bool to say whether or not the location is a date location. So that way, of course, classroom, hallway, your bedroom won't populate. But since these are the only locations I just have them all populating right now. So we'll just say at hallway. And of course, I'm going to have to add some system to make that make sense. So like if you chose hallway, maybe it will automatically say in the hallway instead of at hallway. I'll figure out how to add that at some point. But that's where we asked for the date. Currently there's a 100% accepted chance, so I could test that as well. So she says, I would love to, I cannot wait. And then it goes to Monday. There will be some kind of transition to make that more clear, but that's how the system works. Now I will show you currently in our time manager, there is a new scheduled dates. And if you look here, now we have one in there. It's with Shie. And it's at the school hallway because that's the location we chose. There's a bool for attended. That will be used later on to see if you actually showed up to the date. But currently I haven't implemented actually going out on the date. So this is literally just scheduling dates that I've worked on. So that's basically what I've worked on. There is a little bit of other things, so we'll go ahead and focus on our looks and try to meet Rise this week, so I can show you what happens if you choose to talk. We ran into Shie. I also rewrote random dialogues, so it won't always be the same dialogue when you run into NPCs in the hallway, and each NPCs have their own dialogue that fits their character better. So you can see this is actually a different dialogue than the one that just played. And of course, right now, the odds of meeting an NPC in the hallway are much higher than they would be in the final game. It's all just so I could test out and make sure everything was working the way I wanted it to. And now we've got the Rise conversation. So we're meeting her. And so then this weekend we can call, because you can only call NPCs on the weekend. And now you see we've got Shie and Rise, so we choose which one we want to talk to. This time we will call Rise. And we found a bug. So you could see it's got Shie answering the phone. Hi, Shie. So this is a bit interesting. I'm actually not sure what's going on here. This is why we test out the game. I'm just doing it live on camera. So if we do just chat, I was just calling to chat if you're not busy. Oh, so you couldn't get me off your mind, something like that. Haha, you're funny, but I have to go now. It's the weekend, what should I do? So I will quickly explore what's going on and why that NPC name is populating incorrectly. And then once I've got that taken care of, I'll come back and show you that. So I will see you in a moment. Alright, so the moment of truth here. You can see I've got us in the same exact situation that we were before. We've got a date already scheduled with Shie at the local park. It's the weekend. I have Rise and Shie unlocked. This time we will try calling Rise. And I see already there is a bug where it's now saying Rise instead of phone. But I think that means the rest of the fix will work. So that's at least good. I know what's going on here. So yeah, she answers hello. We say, oh, hi, Rise now. Basically, I just wasn't setting the current NPC when the player selected which NPC they wanted to call. So it was just using the last NPC that the player spoke with. I just must have messed something up where it says Rise there as instead of the phone. But now we can just chat. And you can see the whole time we are chatting with Rise. So I'll fix the phone thing real quick, but I won't bother to go all the way through and show you that again, since that's going to be a simple fix. So now we can meet NPCs. we can encounter them in the hallway. On weekends, we can call them and we can ask them on dates, or we can just chat with them. So we are really getting somewhere, to the point where we will soon have a minimum viable project where I can really show the full gameplay loop. What I need to add at this point are a few more locations. I need to add different, I can't talk for a moment here. I need to add the ability to set locations as a date location or not, so that way only date locations populate when you're asking somebody on a date. I also need chat dialogues for the NPCs, so when you call to chat, they don't always just say the same exact dialogue. And probably most importantly, we need to start looking at adding a relationship system. Dialogues need to affect relationships. Choices you make need to affect the relationship with the NPC. So that is going to be a very important part of the next episode. We'll look at adding the relationship system and then actually going on these dates that we scheduled. So that being said, I think that's going to be it for this episode. I think I've gotten a lot done, and this is what I wanted to show off. So I thank you all for watching. Please like the video and subscribe to keep up with the progress on the game. Let me know in the comments if you have any questions, ideas, or just anything you want to chat about. And I will see you guys in the next one.